Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 3 for the week. We've got Speedroids, yours truly, on the left versus Sky Strikers on the right. I believe this particular Sky Striker player has been on the channel and does have a deck profile uploaded somewhere if you are interested in checking one out. Yeah, let's take a look at the poll results before we jump into this one, though. I just took this poll about 20 minutes ago, so there's not too many results in right now, but about 100, just shy of 100 votes, and 61% of the vote going to Sky Striker, 39 going to Speedroid. Let's see if you guys are correct. You guys were correct last time. Let's see if you can go 2 for 2. So I do win Diral here by a margin of 2, I think. And I have the normal summon Tekatomborg. And it's not a super stellar opening because, you know, could die to a single Ash if I don't play it correctly. So, I mean, I did have another Tekatomborg in hand anyways, I suppose. So, we normal the Tekatomborg, tag it for Duke, and on that summon we spec out the plane. So, yeah. We are in there. We get to Rubber Band Shooter. Yes, we did have to burn a normal summon on something like Tekatomborg, but it's fine. I do actually have another copy in my hand, so if something were to happen to this Rubber Band Shooter, I could climb into Auroradon and then into something like Shen or Baron de Fleur with the help of the tokens, or speccing out a Mecha Phantom Beast Tetherwolf. And obviously the Duke engraved a pair. So we go ahead and fire off the Rubber Band Shooter effect here. We're going to banish up 5. To go ahead and reveal Marble Machine and Terror Top. So basically revealing the same card, essentially, since they, basically do the same thing. The only difference is their level and their ability to hit the graveyard. Obviously, one being a pendulum, so we're going to reveal Marble and Terror Top. He rolls for the Terror Top. Marble goes to the grave. Not super terrible. We should be able to end on a good enough board, though, here. Especially since I have a Tekatomborg in hand already. So I can go ahead and freely grab something else off of this Terror Top. Like a car turbo, and I believe that is exactly what I grab. And I have Duke set up in grave already from earlier, which is a nice extender to be able to special summon a Speedroid tuner from the hand or grave. And right now I know this person usually always plays Sky Striker, so that's what I'm expecting. So I'm trying to at least get to Shen because I know Shen's very, very good against this deck. So we go ahead and use we use Tekatomborg here to special summon out Dice, and we're gonna use Dice effect here. I think I didn't summon Piper yet because I think I drew the Piper. I think that's why. So we're gonna go for a Cork Shooter play here. We're gonna go ahead and revive the materials, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use the Dice here on the Terror Top. And I think I make it a level 5 or level 4, so we can go for the Hagoita. Yeah, so I open up the Piper, so I have to make the play a little bit different. Then we synchro for a Crystal Wing, and then here we're going to go ahead and use the Car Turbo in hand, and then we use Hagoita in grave, and then we Duke for Piper, because that way we get the max amount of excavates we need to try to dig into more interruptions and extenders. So we activate Car Turbo's effect to special summon it. We activate Hagoita's effect to special summon itself from the grave while we control a Speedroid tuner, and then Duke to summon a Speedroid tuner from the hand or grave. And we're going to go ahead and excavate 4 here off the top, revealing Imperm, Ash, Recovery, and I believe another Recovery. Yeah, so Imperm, Ash, very welcome to see. The Recovery at this point I could take if I wanted to make another Crystal Wing, but I definitely value the Ash a lot more in this particular matchup. So we go ahead and take that, and then we synchro at 9 into Shen. And, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the turn here. We go ahead and set the Imperm, and that'll do it. So, Ash, Imperm, Crystal Wing, and Shen against the Sky Striker deck. Not super terrible. Only thing I would probably replace would be the Crystal Wing with a Baron, but, we'll definitely take it. He's going to lead with Prosperity. Going to go ahead and banish 3 here. So yeah, no way I'm going to stop this if he's just banishing 3. He's going to reveal Fusion Destiny, Widow Anchor, and Ash. And I believe he does take the Fusion Destiny here because it's probably one of the better cards revealed there. Accidentally puts the, mixes up what cards you get to put back to the bottom there. No big deal, so just going to put those 2 to the bottom. And the pot technically should be banished here as well. But he's going to go ahead and set 4. And that's going to do it for his turn. Obviously, the Ash that he just saw me add to my hand near the end of my last turn is going to keep that Fusion Destiny in check, which is kind of nice. And Here, I'm very cautious about playing into 4 back row. Like, I really don't want to just walk into 4 back row just because of, like, TC Boo and things like that, or maybe Torrential. Like, I have no idea. So I was debating, like, do I just activate Hagoita Engrave and then just, try to make another Crystal Wing or something? Try to force out a back row? I think that's what I end up doing ultimately here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I end up doing. Because, like, the only back row I'm really scared about is something like there can be only one, which right now I'm actually not super affected by because I have a Psychic, a Dragon, and 2 machines on field. And I have a Marble machine in hand, too. And I'm kind of afraid to commit the normal summon to that currently. So I go ahead and activate Hagoita. He's going to chain. There can be only one, so it doesn't even hit the field. I also forget to send a Card Turbo or a Marble Machine, but I'm reminded hereafter. And I obviously decided to send the Card Turbo. Why not put that Engrave just to get free damage? And I think I do end up using the Card Turbo next, because this is just going to be game outright. Crystal Wing's at 38, Shen Shen's at 36, and that Rubber Band Shooter is now at 18. So if he doesn't have something to stop this here, this is going to be game. So we're going to swing it for 18. And I also could do the Shen Shen Crystal Wing play too, where I attack with Crystal Wing, activate Shen Shen, negate Crystal Wing, or negate with Crystal Wing, negating the Shen Shen, and then the Crystal Wing would gain that original attack, the 2800, pushing it up well over 6,000 attack for a game. And yeah, that ends up being game right there. So did not have a way to stop those attacks. And we are into a game 2 here. And I'd like to mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist. If you guys are interested in picking up amazing deck boxes, sleeves, binders, playmats, and more, check them out at the link below. And don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order. And if you guys are buying anything off of TCG Player or The Coldest Water, check out the affiliate links I have to their sites down in the description below. Anytime you guys shop and check out using those links, a small bit of the revenue from mid-purchase will go right back in the channel and helps out a ton. So getting back to the game here, Sky Striker obviously opting to go first, which, seeing them play Sky Striker, I kind of expected him to make me go first, so I did side in some going first cards. I did put in a couple goes in matches just because that card going first or second is just inherently going to be good against the Sky Striker strategy. So yeah, again, I was also just expecting to have him go second because Sky Striker, I know, really likes to go second because of Hayate and things like that. So he's just going to normal Ray, Link into Shizuku, grab, engage, and pass with the 1 set. And I do lead with a Wandering Griffin Rider here, which is really, really strong. Can help me try to put some pressure on here very, very early. Get to an early Baron. And then also search a wheel to keep extending. So we're going to go ahead and dump the duplicate here as we usually do. And I think I then again activate the duplicate, targeting the Hound to reduce its level by 1 to special summon duplicate as a level 1 tuner once per duel effect, kind of like a level eater. And at this point, my opponent is going to go ahead and flip up D-Barrier, calling Synchro. And at this point, I'm like, okay, D-Barrier on Synchro, that's going to be okay because I have enough gas here to go ahead and extend into Auroradon. And it's a nice, it's probably one of the best times to get D-Barrier because I started with Hound. So I was able to dump the duplicate to the grave. And I also have 3 Marble Machines in hand, which is really cool. I'm basically losing my marbles at this point. And I opened up a copy of Goes in Match 2. So, I mean, I guess it could be worse. Here to go ahead and banish the 6. I was looking at possibly getting a Duke, revealing a Duke and something else like, a Tekatomborg. And if I get the Duke to the grave, I get the Duke to the grave just to have set up for next turn. But basically, all I'm doing right now is just grabbing follow-up for next turn. The Tekatomborg does not go to my hand, but, I have Marble Machines for days to work with. So we're going to link off the duplicate and the Rubber Band Shooter into Auroradon, and this is going to go ahead and spec 3 tokens. And, I've got Marble Machine, Card Turbo, Goes in Match in hand, so I've got follow-up, and I've got plenty of interruption here, too. I can grab back the duplicate with Auroradon by tributing 3, and that's exactly what I do here. So I've got duplicate, bounce, I've got Goes in Match, and I've got plenty of follow-up, so feeling pretty good about that. Especially under D-Barrier, and this is also one of the reasons why I love playing Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon in Speedroids, because it does help you get around D-Barrier, which normally would be a turn skip, giving you a nice monster to go ahead and climb into, adding back that duplicate, or adding back things like Goes in Match, Solemn Judgment, Gravity Collapse, whatever it may be, whatever flavor of trap you're on in the side deck for games 2 and 3. Very helpful to get those back. So standby phase, I'm going to go ahead and flip up the Goes in Match, making sure he cannot extend into something like a Kagari here, just letting him freely link to add back or get into a Hayate, whatever it may be. I mean, pretty much at any point, I know the Gozen match is going to be very difficult for him to deal with. He's got to have the out for it. I think the only way they really out this is with Afterburner and having 3 or more spells engraved, because I know the jamming waves only destroys set spell or traps, and obviously Gozen matches face up. And even if he did have jamming waves and I didn't flip up the Gozen match, I could just chain the Gozen match to the jamming waves, and it would be face up on resolution, allowing him not to be able to destroy it. So he is going to go ahead and lead with the engage here. And at this point, I'm like, because at this point, to be totally honest, I thought he was going to go ahead and grab the jamming waves, because at the time, I didn't realize it could only destroy set cards. So I'm like, great, I just wasted this Gozen match. He's just going to go ahead and get jamming waves and pop it. But it started to take longer and longer to search, and I'm like, wait a second, maybe either doesn't play it or it doesn't work the way I think it does. He's also looking in the grave right now, too, to see if there's anything he could possibly Shark Cannon just to banish, just to kind of buy a turn maybe. Because yeah, I mean, outing this Gozen match is going to be really, really tough. And I think the problem too at this point is that he was not expecting what he thought to be a combo deck from game 1 to be siding in floodgates and traps, like we are in game 2 here. So I think the back row hate that he had in the deck is few and far between, as I don't think he was expecting it. So he does go ahead and search out the Widow Anchor. And right here, I think following this particular play, he does make a little bit of a misplay, and he did tell that to me mid-match. He's like, that's kind of a brain fart. So, like, it happens. I think what happens is he ends up crashing the Shizuku into the Auroradon, and he's gonna take 500 because of Shizuku's effect, dropping the Auroradon down to 100, and he's able to summon the Ray. And at this point, he doesn't have any way to get into a dark monster because it goes a match, and he also cannot activate any of his striker spells. And he also has Dasher on top of that too, which is just like all a bunch of things just piling up against him at this point, which is very unfortunate. So without much of a play left, he is going to go ahead and pass turn there. I do decide whether or not, if I want to fire this Duplicate off in the end phase to hit one of the back row, and I do take the gamble here, and I end up hitting there can be only one back to the hand. I mean, hindsight, I could have just held the Duplicate. I did get a little lucky there, bouncing it back in the end phase, but like even if I did hold it, when he activated, I could just chain Duplicate to bounce it back, or even if I didn't have access to Duplicate for whatever reason, I could just Auroradon tribute itself, pop the there can be only one, and just call it a day. But we go ahead and normal one of our 3 marble machines, and then search Tekatomborg. Tekatomborg, I think I just tag for Duke here, and I've got Hound Engrave as well to act as an extender. And we're going to go ahead and Synchro 5 into Hagoita. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon out the Car Turbo. And I think we're just going to go for double Crystal Wing play right here, just because that's just going to out the Ray. And we're also going to have Game on board as well. Because I don't even need to use the Duke Engrave realistically. I could just use Hound to go ahead and recycle a Tekatomborg, summon out Cork Shooter from the extra deck, activate Hagoita effect, Synchro 8 for, Crystal Wing. And then I could use, like, the Auroradon to pop a set. And I think at this point, oh yeah, I wanted to check something with Auroradon. Whether Auroradon could, like, tribute, like, things that weren't monsters. Because I was going to scale a marble machine and, like, use that to, like, clear the back row. But I had to double check just to make sure that it was monsters or any cards so you could tribute for its effect. And I do use Hound here. That is going to go ahead and bring out a Cork Shooter, and I do use Duplicate, and or not Duplicate. Okay, so I do use Hagoita here, and I go ahead and link into Rubber Band Shooter, and we're gonna use the additional normal now on Hound, and I think Hound's gonna go ahead and dump Fukimadoshi Piper here, and I could have also dumped Dice for a Cork Shooter play too, and then we go ahead and use Duke to go ahead and summon out the Piper. And I think I'm doing this so I can just get access to Shen Shen. And we're going to reveal 4 again. We take another Ash. So, like, this is just the final nail in the coffin here. And we're going to go ahead and Synchro 9 into that Shen Shen. And, yeah, this is... And also with Car Turbo Engrave, this is just going to be game outright. banish itself, banish a rubber band shooter, and yeah, this ray is not going to hit the grave, and if it does try to, well, it can't even tag out, so that's not even a concern of mine. Hound can hit over at 16, and then he's going to take 18, 38, and 36, and yeah, he showed me that I bounced back the TC boot, and he didn't have much there to stop me afterwards, and he couldn't Nibiru either because Goes and Match is up as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. If you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up at the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members. They're Tweeter0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Keith Sidgers, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely generous support of the channel.